How the best chance or the best way to get the solution is from Master. Master is here. Don't miss the chance. We are going to work on each major layers. We are going to work on desire, guilt, depression, fear, on every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
The higher dimensions, when they enter consciously into the lower dimensions, they manifest as powers. If the space dimension enters into time, time literally manifests everything space wants. How you have a nervous system which passes the thought currents inside you, same way the cosmos has a nervous system which passes its decisions and thought currents, that is the space. Constantly be inspired by the space of the Paramashiva in your space. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from Kailasa. I'll give it as an experiential initiation to all of you.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanandam. With the divine grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we present to you the Nithyananda Rudra show. I am Sri Nitya Rajananda Maharaj, and today we are going to be getting all of you ready for the divine darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today is a very special day, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to be manifesting as Ardhanarishvara. Today we'll be looking into some of the facts and the story and the significance of the Ardhanarishvara deity, what is it, and how he is a manifestation of Paramashiva, and how Paramashiva literally shows his compassion. And it is a beautiful science, and these are some of the best ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is able to actually get through to many of the youngsters and those in the modern day, to be able to have them understand one of the truest questions that they may be having, their very gender identity. And today we'll be exploring into how just having the darshan of the Ardhanarishvara, who is manifesting as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, as he is there, how we being able to see him, having his darshan, we will just be able to reflect the same completion in our own gender identity. And some of the myths and some of the wrong ideas or notions about gender, what it is, and we will be able to debunk and really break those apart, bust those myths, and bring out the true teachings that are there in today's world, where the discussion is coming about, especially amongst the Hindu communities, is about their sex education. What is it that they're going to know about their sexual identity, what it is for themselves, how it is that they're going to express it. That is something that many of the youngsters will have these questions, and of course it has become since many years. But we are going to look today into how Hinduism actually addresses this question that is there amongst so many youngsters, and of course amongst so many parents, about how do we even address this or bring this up? And we are seeing that many ways are being trying to be done, to be doing. Most of it is just to stop to create problems. It is just a matter of abstinence to prevent the children from becoming very what do you call, they preventing them from ruining their own lives, basically put. But the way that Hinduism beautifully teaches these identities, gender identities specifically, is something that needs to be noted. And especially in these times recently, when we are looking at a civilizational makeover of the whole world, and people are really more understanding that in some of the parts of the world where Hinduism is celebrated, that it's not going to be very easy for a Western model of thinking to be kept and superimposed on a living Hindu society, because it is something that the Hindus are not going to be able to adjust with. And even maybe the same situation when it comes to understanding gender and gender studies and the identity itself. So let us look at some of the myths that are there about gender, especially when it comes to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings in every Paramashivam program that is in fact going on right now. And by the way, if you are new here and you are just coming across this live stream, you can right now go and have a chance to meet the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiam, and have his darshan, have an interaction with him in the Paramashivam program, the live darshan that is going to be happening in a few moments from now. And right now we're just getting ready and having all the new ones who are joined us to get a little background understanding and understand a beautiful context before receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So if you want to register and have your questions answered by him, have your prayers blessed by him, have your wishes attended to, whatever it may be, you can have that opportunity now, especially in this 4-month period. Right now, the 4 months that are going on, it is called Chaturmasya in the Hindu calendar. These 4 months are taken up by many parts of Hindu society as a period of spiritual study and getting to know more about yourself, looking inside, looking inward, and finding out more about what is our nature, what is the truth of the universe, what is the truth about life and death, and all these fundamental questions. In fact, Hinduism gives you like a 4-month break from all of the other parts of your life just to do this. And this is something that is there in many Hindu sampradayas, and in the Shiva sampradayas, or the Shiva, the following of Shiva, these are followed, the 4 months are followed, and we just study a lot of the scriptures. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began this very Chaturmasya. For him, this is the 43rd Chaturmasya, and he has been initiated all of us also into celebrating this Chaturmasya, diving deep into Hindu scriptures, and specifically one of the most common ones, and these are known as the Prasthanatraya, the 3 main introductory kind of scriptures to Hinduism. They are Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutras. And so if you have come to our channel for the first time, you may be wanting to know also that the live stream of many of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's divine revival of these scriptures is being shown, and he puts it in such a modern way, in such a way that you and me can just directly understand what he's saying, especially bringing out the truths of the Upanishads. It's not about so explanatory, it is not a full philosophical a conversation. Yes, it can be there, and it is beautiful intellectual conversation also, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism brings the unique component of the enlightened being that is there in front of us. When we listen to these truths, especially the powerful way that is being put in the English language today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is literally spearheading the ability to be able to bring this powerful experience of enlightenment directly to you and make you live it in this moment, and that is what he does when he brings out all of this teachings of this Upanishads or the Brahma Sutras or Bhagavad Gita itself. And this is a beautiful time to be able to explore all of the videos in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's YouTube channel and get to know more about what is the Prasthanatraya, what are all these things, and how you can get to know what is the best way to absorb. So it's a beautiful time to celebrate. I mean, every Chaturmasya we actually grow a little bit more. We keep a little bit of time for ourselves to be able to say, okay, this Chaturmasya, let me learn about this particular chapter. Let me work on myself in this way. Let me work on this. So it's a beautiful period and a beautiful time to be spiritually oriented. And beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing up our digital nation in Kailasa and telling all of us the opportunity to join Paramashiva home, giving all of the sessions and all of the darshans absolutely free for everyone who joins. So this is the best actual opportunity. Join the Paramashivam sessions and join the beautiful tsunami that's going on about how everybody is just going back to the roots, sitting down with themselves and really looking through themselves with the completion process, with the Nirvikalpa Samadhi meditations and various techniques that are from the scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism every day is bringing out a different manifestation of Paramashiva, who revived and who gave to the world different parts of Hindu Sampradaya, for example, the Yoga Sampradaya or the Tantra Sampradaya. And actually, you may know now that the Tantra Sampradaya of Tantra is a beautiful science, especially to bring someone in to live an extremely enlightened and fulfilled life. That is what Tantra promises from Paramashiva's very own words. This is what Tantra is. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism today is gracing as Ardhanarishvara, the form of Paramashiva, who is half Nari, which is Devi, Paramashiva Shakti, and Ishvara, Parameshwara himself, Paramashiva himself. So this story is beautiful actually. When the Devi, Paramashiva Shakti, was doing tapas to be able to, as we are all doing, to be able to do penance, to be able to have the highest experience of enlightenment, she was doing this penance in the very temple town of Tiruvannamalai, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself was born. And actually, it's a beautiful fact to know that he is from the exact sampradaya that the Devi left behind after she had the experience of becoming Ardhanarishvara. So the experience is that she realized her oneness with Paramashiva, and she realized that, and Paramashiva accepted her as his own other half, and therefore she is his Ardhangini, the other half of him, and the deity that she manifested, she became, or Paramashiva manifested, is known as Ardhanarishvara, half Devi, half Paramashiva. It is a beautiful form of a completion of gender and a beautiful expression of all the possibilities that we have inside us. In fact, we started talking about what is gender, and one of the wrong notions that we have, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from the beginning has been telling us, is that to understand that we are one gender, that we only come from one kind of an understanding based off particular sexual orientations that you may have, preferences that you may have. These are actually wrong understandings that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism wants to help heal us from, because they do so much of damage, so much of nonsense, addictions and perversions come out of these kind of wrong understandings. We relate with ourselves, how we relate with the opposite gender, how we relate with another gender, or how we relate with the same gender. All these are parts of the gender identity that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully shares inside the Paramshivam program, which in the sessions you'll get to know more about. If you just join us in the link below or scan the QR code, get to know more about the sessions and the content today. Especially if you join today, some of the gifts and the digital gifts that we'll be able to give you after the darshan today, especially if you sign up right now, will be correlated, so you can actually catch up on all the content. Will be correlated to the topic if you're interested of gender identity, and get to know more about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings specifically on gender identity and the healing that it brings. And beautifully the system was there. And if you see in the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where he's reviving one of the most important aspects of Hinduism, that is the Gurukul system. He says it is in the Gurukul system where such perversions and such complications of what we are seeing today that people are facing through gender identity, especially with the amount of porn addictions and the amount of addictions that people have to all the things and not able to handle themselves or their the chemistry that they have inside of themselves. This is a beautiful healing that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been able to recreate in the world today, especially through the Nityananda Gurukul, and giving the kids the opportunity, the freedom to be able to express themselves fully and be able to express not just themselves, focus, remove all the identity. It is told you are Paramashiva, you are the whole cosmos, you are capable of manifesting anything you want. And that is why one of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism powerfully breaks all these identity filters is just by saying you are Paramashiva, and that is the truth actually. And he's able to deliver this experience, and not just that, prove through the Palasans that power manifestation is possible once they have settled in the truest identity that they are one with Paramashiva. And some more about that later for those who are interested. Every session inside the Paramshivam program has a power manifestation. So it's not just about saying that only the kids or only younger kids who have healed themselves or discovered the gender identity and raised above it and realized and manifest powers through the space of Paramashiva. Is to say that you are also capable of doing the same thing. You, from any age, any part of the world, you can also manifest powers. And that is why the day of Paramashivam is filled with power manifestation sessions, again and again and again, touching back to your identity. You are Paramashiva, you can manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Let's cognize ourselves in that way. Let us herald ourselves and have that powerful, matured conversation with ourselves. And that is the way we handle ourselves inside the Paramashivam program. So again, welcoming you all to the Paramashivam program. Come and go to the link below or scan the QR code and get to know more about what the Paramashivam is, especially right now. Don't miss the opportunity. Actually gather everyone around you, especially the youngsters, especially everyone can come and have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism radiating the Ardhanarishvara darshan, and it's going to be a very powerful, and more about that a little later about what happens actually during the darshan. So going back to this gender identity, and Hinduism actually powerfully shares that there are 11 genders actually there, and these 11 genders are there in Hinduism. It declares yes, there's 11 types of genders that you can cognize yourself. Gender is the totality of the identification with your physical body, your psychological layer, and your physiological existence, how these correlate with each other, and your will about you, what you cognize about you, your physical existence, your psychological existence, and your identification, your aham, what you feel you are, whether it is, it has to be powerful, it has to be something that is Paramashiva. And in all four of these levels, how you feel, the totality of all these four are put together is your gender, and the permutation combinations of these four give rise to the 11 genders. Like how these four combined will be created with the 11 genders. And of course, many of you may be asking, what are these 11 genders? How do I get to know them? We have to save this content for the Paramashivam program. If you really want to know what it is, what you want to explore and discover your gender, it is the best way to do it is in the safe environment, in the safe ecosystem that we provide for you inside the Paramashivam sessions. It is there that it is beautifully and delicately dealt to you, and it is not something that you want to be told straight up, and you may not even cognize it correctly in the way if it's told straight to you what you may understand as what gender really is. But it needs to be a healing process, and it is done through a beautiful way inside the sessions. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has beautifully curated some of the best ways that someone can manifest, working with millions and millions of people, who are having this kind of a same kind of a gender identity crisis about they wanted to have the healing about what is their gender and how they can manifest themselves powerfully and not have to have any struggles with their gender or in their life. So if the integrity between the physical, psychological, and this physiological components of you is not achieved about your gender identification, you'll be struggling. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is very clear about this one thing, that the biggest problem is that before you hit the age of 21, if you allow someone to explore you, or if you explore someone, you collapse into the wrong identification due to the powerless cognitions, and you build a wrong gender identity. And this is the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving one of the beautiful teachings inside Hinduism known as Gurukula, and specifically known as Brahmacharya, being able to live a life possibly in oneness with existence as your higher identity, and cognizing that, having that kind of a safe environment where that is only told to you, no other kind of identity is given to you, especially when it comes to having a relationship with someone, or just having it. Just so much unnecessary peer pressure is out there, and many people are struggling with this unnecessary peer pressure to have a relationship, to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. These kind of struggles many people go through. Many kids, unfortunately, don't even have to opt for this, and the peer pressure or the world outside is just talking about this only. It's just a possibility that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given to all of us who have experienced this, that this is not a way that you need to live, that you have to have someone in your life. No, it is a possibility to explore yourself, your own possibility as oneness with Paramashiva. I mean, before the age of 21, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revives Hinduism and says that in the Gurukula system, the ability for one to be living as a brahmachari, the one who lives focusing on himself and enjoying all of the existence as it is, exploring everything, learning all the things. It is a beautiful player to learn, and of course the safest way and the most healing way in the world to be able to have this experience is to be able to do it in the Gurukula system that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is beautifully reviving for all of us in Kailasa. So one of the most important things that we must understand, especially if you are facing problems without having a proper gender identity or powerful cognitions about your gender, if you go ahead and have relationships with people and the opposite gender, or whoever your sexual preference is, whatever it may be, if you start having these kind of relationships, you may be facing some problems or struggles in understanding what is real fulfillment, how our desire is supposed to be filled, and so much of guilt and some kind of negative emotions and shame also is maybe involved in all of these. So these kind of problems and things that if you would have faced, that you don't actually have to go through, especially if you prescribe to a Hindu lifestyle, if you prescribe to a lifestyle where you until the age of 21 are celebrating your brahmacharya, then if you are facing these complications, it is because when your gender is properly identified, these problems won't actually be there. It's actually, so Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is beautifully sharing that whether you feel powerlessness or complication in the level of physical fulfillment or desires, or you may be feeling some guilt, any problem you go through with the physical relationships that you have with others, fundamentally starts with one thing, that is your gender identification. So the Supreme Pontiff again reiterates that when your gender is properly identified, all problems just melt down. And the way that it is done in such a healing way, such a pure way, such a way to make you understand, like going back to the early understandings of how it is, who is this, what is your gender, who you are, and what is your father, what is your mother, all of these kind of these conclusions that we come to as small children, this is why we have to do it in a safe environment, giving you the right understanding, giving you the right cognitions, and helping you look in properly and answering all your questions. And this beautiful caretaking that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism promises is literally the flight crew that is all of us here taking care of all of you in the Paramshivam program. In the Paramshivam program, ask any question, get to know more about how to really look into yourself. It's the best kind of airport to be able to really take off into a different kind of a transformative life, a life with powerful gender identity. So there is the cure for having relationships issues, especially earlier in your life, that you don't need to actually go through. But if you have had these, certain amount of healing that needs to be done, and that is also a promise that is done, that is actually done for many of us for the Supreme by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Paramashivam program. So actually one of the best ways to just get a glimpse and just get to know what it is that we can do to be able to find ourselves, find our gender identity, is to have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So we want to share more about the darshan, what it is that you need to prepare yourself for. So take a few moments right now, go to the paramashivahome.org and register yourself, gather everybody, register your whole family. Let's get ready for the darshan that's going to be starting in a few moments. Just taking a short break right now for all of you to go ahead and go and register. We'll be right back with a short clip, also the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism talking about Tantra and talking specifically about this topic, maybe a little glimpse about the different sessions that are there inside the Paramashiva Home program. You can take a look at this clip, and after that you can also register for the Paramashiva Home level 3. We'll be right back.
The word Tantra simply means technique, methodology. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, all methodology for manifesting the state, space, powers and being of Paramashiva is called Tantra. That's it. Please understand. State, space, powers and being of Paramashiva, manifesting that is called Tantra. Any methodology adopted for that purpose is called Tantra. In course of time, it got associated with multiple traditions like Shakta, Bauddha, Samana. In multiple sampradayas, orders, traditions of Hinduism, it got identified, associated, started having different connotations, and then comes the anti-Hindu narratives, anti-Hindu forces, Hindu-phobic forces contains this word and boxes it inside gory sexual activities and orgies. Without any understandings and reality, I tell you, Tantra is the most anti-sex practice. In real tantric practice, whether you do it with your own being or you do it with some beings outside, it just liberates you from everything felt as a need or urge. Understand? Food is not wrong, but urge pushing you to eat is wrong. Sex is not wrong, but the urge making you lose your balance and your integrity and pushing you to do the act is wrong. Understand? Anything which breaks your integrity is wrong, not the act.
Violent weekend across the country. There were several mass shootings, including 2 here in California.
Rate rises, inflation, the war in Ukraine and the end of COVID have created a unique set of financial challenges.
A recent HHS government health survey found that nearly half of young adults 18 to 25 had experienced either substance use or a mental health disorder during the height of the pandemic.
And visualize yourself as Sage Vashishta. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in the space, and perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
Nithyanandam everybody. We welcome each and every one of the viewers who are sitting with us from all over the world for today's yet another powerful session. Followed by the very special darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
For these 4 months, I am making the whole Paramashivam program completely free of cost. The program, which will cost $21,000, will be free for everyone till 24th October 2023.
Beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared about what is Tantra, what are the wrong notions that are there, that is Tantra, and how we beautifully shared actually that Tantra is the most anti-sex practice that is there in the world, and it is again so much against what is wrongly told about on what is Tantra. But the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares how it is such a healing and such a powerful way to have a way to discover your sexual identity or your gender identity. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is now going to manifest as the Ardhanarishvara darshan that we're going to see. And actually beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as we were sharing the story earlier of how Devi herself received the oneness experience with Paramashiva, and he accepted her as his very own other half and raised her to understand how she is beyond all gender, how we are just truly the state of transcendental gender, beyond all gender, beyond all these identities. We are cosmos itself, we are Paramashiva. And in this way, Hinduism, Tantra specifically, uses gender and what we identify with to come out of it, heal out of it, and realize our true inner identity of being Paramashiva, consciousness itself. So when we have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, what is going on inside him is he's in a space of what is called as bhava samadhi, and the neuron activity that is happening inside of him is literally the landing of the powerful energy of Ardhanarishvara and just manifesting it and radiating it through every part of his body. And that is why beautifully you will be able to see the darshan, and it's a beautiful time to just observe. And in Hinduism, many of you know, many of you may be practitioners or meditators. Do you know that you must sit and concentrate and focus and have this? The way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is beautifully reviving is the darshan is a way that Hinduism really tells us to be able to still the mind, still the senses, encapsulate them, and really give us a profound experience, like maybe that you may be having when you see a large mountain, or when you see the beautiful ocean, or when you see a sunset. These moments and these literal small darshans that you may have of these powerful things in existence. In the same way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifests in the darshan today. You will get to see at the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifesting and radiating the powerful murti of Paramashiva known as Ardhanarishvara. So as we were saying, this powerful deity is a deity that can really manifest in you and show you how and heal you of all these gender identity. And we'll get to know more about what the gender identity is and how it is something that we all carry, and it's something that we all identify with, and how it is possible to heal through it. So right now what we're telling you about is, by having the darshan, whatever activity of the neurons or of the physical nature of the Supreme Pontiff is when he's manifesting Ardhanarishvara, the same thing happens inside of us. This is something that science has told also. Pratyaksha pramana is there. It is known as mirroring neurons. When you see someone swimming, when you see the act of swimming happening in front of you by someone, your body, your muscles, your brain it just automatically puts you into the chemistry of being able to float and swim and enjoy the water. And the same way, maybe when you're seeing some kind of maybe scary movie and you see some horror is going, the frightened and the horror that someone is going to, the terror that is happening inside their body reflects inside your brain. That is why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always recommends to avoid putting yourself in such trauma and such terrible situations, and always put yourself seeing the beautiful things, seeing that. And of course, when it comes to seeing, darshan is literally seeing. And when you see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifest Paramashiva himself, radiate that bhava samadhi, you will be able to have the same neuron activity. Maybe we won't intellectually understand it or not, but the phenomena is there, it exists, and it cuts across all dimensions of the cosmos. It cuts across time, space, everything. You won't even understand, but you may see that a powerful, significant impact is there in your life the very next day. And of course, you're recommended to join the sessions and join every day and prepare yourself, so that you're intellectually also in tune with what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is manifesting or giving in the darshan. So that is a little bit about darshans and how you yourself can get the best from the darshan. Of course, sit in a beautiful, comfortable position and sit alert so you're awake, and of course keep your eyes open and relaxed and see yourself in the Paramashiva, in the Paramashivam session itself. And if you are in fact inside the Paramashivam session, you will be able to, in the Zoom room, what we mean is, if you're in the Zoom room, you will be able to directly ask your question and ask for any healing that you have, any pattern that you see, any healing and any specific understanding that you seek about gender identity, and you want a blessing for it. You can put your question forward inside the Zoom. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is so compassionate, especially in this study period that we're having, known as Chaturmasya, intense study of the Hindu scriptures. He's giving Paramshivam everyone to have an experiential understanding, because he's all about the experience. He's not about giving people bookish words or knowledge. He's about giving people enlightenment itself. It's about living it right now, and that is the way and the reason why he's showing so much of love and compassion to all of us, to give us that experience by making the $21,000 program absolutely free for all of us to be able to manifest and really have an experiential understanding about all of these teachings that are there in Hinduism. So today we're specifically looking at the teachings that are there in Tantra, and some of these things that many of the participants have been looking at and learning about inside the program have found profound understandings about their own gender and about what it is that they have been putting inside themselves, their ideas that they put about themselves, the identities that they put inside themselves. There is something that they just don't have to be conditioned with. It is just a conditioning that just was put on top of them. It is not something that you have to live by, and that's one of the beautiful things. And all relationship complications start with gender identity negation. We've just discussed about how if you have any relationship issues, about any guilt or on some discontentment or unfulfillment that you're experiencing, it is because you have not had a full powerful gender identity. And one more thing is that the gender identification is literally a solution and a cure to all. Multiple disorders related to eating can be cured completely. Multiple disorders related to drug addiction can be cured completely just by identifying your gender, and bring powerful completion to all the wrong cognitions, judgments, opinions, fears imposed on you by society. And that is actually a lot of the work that happens inside the Paramashivam program. It's a beautiful space for you to be able to really go down to everything that was conditioned into you, really find out what it is that you bound yourself to understand that is not actually true, that is not something that you have to prescribe to anymore. That freedom and that opportunity is given to you. That is some of the promises that the nation as Kailasa itself promises to the world, this beautiful spiritual freedom to be able to say, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and be able to say that and be able to have a community and have people that support you into manifesting that alone is something that Kailasa is the vision for. As the first nation for Hindus right now, it is the promise of being able to have that spiritual freedom that we are experiencing here, that we're sharing about, especially when it comes to having that gender identity. So the grace what happens when you manifest and you understand your gender. Actually, it is a beautiful, actually, when you move from being a question mark about yourself, what am I, what is this, why is this, rather than having questions and having a confusion about things and not understanding why things are the way they are, and just moving with life and celebrating life as it flows and happens to you, is the healing that needs to happen. That we've been conditioned not to think so serious about our identities or our gender identity. Rather, when we move from being that question mark about ourselves to being a beautiful exclamation mark and knowing that we can just celebrate as we are. And the beautiful manifestation of Paramashiva in our lives, the Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is such a phenomena when he just penetrates through all your layers of conditioning and just manifests and shows how he's just so magnificent, blissful all the time, unfound, untapped, inexhaustible bliss, inexhaustible happiness, and amount of energy to be able to radiate and to be able to show everyone that all that is possible is something that happens to someone when they have found their Guru. So when you see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and you want to know whether you found your Guru or not, just identify with the extraordinariness of his manifestation. When he manifests with a smile, no matter how much people put on him, no matter how much people falsify whatever he's is saying, defame or assassinate or try to even assassinate or whatever a character assassinate, whatever they might be trying to do, no matter what is put on him, he's still able to manifest and radiate that divine expression of Paramashiva, divine experience as oneness with Paramashiva. And when we see that as a possibility for ourselves to come through, to cut through all of whatever we have conditioned ourselves with, removing all those conditionings and coming out as pure manifestations of consciousness as Paramashiva himself. So that when you realize this as a reality for yourself, something called grace happens inside. And the yoga practices, especially if you do the Nithyananda yoga every day inside the Paramshivam program, the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived yoga to its authentic expression with 12 different components is just a way to really move your body and understand and explore yourself, really the way maybe you've not allowed yourself to understand how your body muscles can move and adapt to different kind of postures and situation and breathing techniques. Whatever it may be, these techniques are and postures are all just to help you explore yourself. Maybe something that you may have not done in the younger age, but need to catch up on and heal yourself on, because a big part of your identity is your body. And when you beautifully allow yourself to explore what all its possibilities are, what its lung capacity is, or what its ability to move oxygen around in different parts of the body, this is some of the sciences that are taught in the Nithyananda yoga. So when you do the practice of Nithyananda yoga, you get to learn really more about your body and a lot of the identity that is falsely put on you and how you just didn't need to be that. Whatever size you may be, you don't need to be flexible, you don't need to be thin, you don't need to be fit. You can just come and do the yoga, explore the body, explore yourself, explore your possibilities, and then you'll be able to really see how you're just able to manifest Paramashiva, as the program itself is called, Paramashivoham, oneness with Paramashiva. So today we're going to have the darshan of one of the powerful manifestations of Paramashiva known as Ardhanarishvara. And Ardhanarishvara is you. You are Ardhanarishvara. That is the experience that we're going to have in the darshan of Paramashivoham right now. Just by seeing that oneness. When we say oneness, we say I am that, I am Paramashiva, I am Paramashivoham, and we put ourselves into that space and realize that yes, we are the completion of gender, we are the completion of our gender identity, and having that as a possibility for ourselves is one of the most liberating thought currents that anybody can have today. And this darshan, this understanding that you are in oneness with Ardhanarishvara, will be just a breakthrough for you to have a liberation from any crisis you may be going through, especially identity crisis related with gender. And maybe it may not associated with directly with gender, maybe something to do with food or something that you find as a sexual preference or some habit that you feel that you have associated yourself with that you're just not able to get over or heal or have a better understanding about. Whatever that may be, when you have the Ardhanarishvara darshan, when you have the possibility of the highest understanding of someone as being Paramashiva, when that happens and you identify with it and you want to relate with it and you connect with it and you pray to it, to pray to Paramashiva and ask him to give you that experience and share with you that oneness, you're treating cosmos, you're treating existence as alive, as intelligence, as something that is life positive. And that is the powerful truth that is there in Hinduism. It exists today even in our lives. Supreme Pontiff again and again is telling us that whenever it is because of the life positivity that is there in Hinduism that it keeps alive in every aspect. That is why it still exists today. And even though so many ancient cultures have gone, it is Hinduism's truths that are so life positive oriented, giving people life wherever, whenever, whatever time period they're from. Those truths are timeless. They're able to help everyone at any moment. And this is one of the truths that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares, of life positivity that is there in every inch and breadth of Hinduism. So it is a beautiful form of Paramashiva, of course, where half of Paramashiva is Shiva, Ishvara, and the other is Nari, Devi, Paramashiva, Shakti herself. And whether it is breathing, thinking, eating, any action is an expression of Shakti. Shakti is the embodiment of expression. She is the embodiment of love itself, movement, and engaging with the world and cognizing the world is for life. It's for me. It is continuously healing me. It's giving me so much of life positivity. It is giving me so much, and being in that attitude of gratitude and being receptive to everything that happens to you as a blessing, as a manifestation and a message from Paramashiva. That is the way that Paramashiva Shakti connected with the whole cosmos, and she is known as the embodiment of love itself. And realizing the love manifestation of your consciousness and entering into any action becomes a manifestation of you. It's not a manipulation of life. You're not saying life is against me and I need to be able to be smarter than it, to be able to manipulate, move things around and be able to grab as much as I can. That's a absolute wrong way of cognizing life, cognizing what life is, because you are going to have hatred, vengeance, anger, and many negative things inside you. But when you have the truth that you are a manifestation and life is just a creation of a manifestation of you, then and an extension of you, you'll have an understanding that it is for you, it is loving you, and Paramashiva is loving you, taking care of you. This is the understanding that we have, and is a big part of especially healing the gender identity when it comes to cognizing what Paramashiva is, what existence is, what life is, what nature is. All of these truths have to be magnified in each of our lives, and it's something that really need to really touch base with again and again. And that is a beautiful process of that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving through the teachings of Paramashiva, where he teaches Tantra. So we have another clip for you where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is talking about Tantra and how Paramashiva has brought it to the world as the most anti-sex kind of truth in the world, something that you can heal from, something that you can use to strengthen yourself rather than use it as something that you are struggling with. So we are now going to see a short clip, and in this time you can also register for the Paramashiva home program and gather everyone. In a few moments alone we're going to be starting the process of preparing ourselves for the darshan. So just enjoy this clip from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Gather everyone and let's get ready for the darshan.
This one understanding about Tantra not only can enlighten you, can make you manifest all powers are from your sexual energy. Tantra looks at the sex as only profit loss activity, not right wrong activity. If the person with whom you are having relationship is higher conscious than you, it is a initiation, it's a blessing. The person with whom you are having relationship is lower than your consciousness, it is loss, not wrong but loss. If you feel you are complicated, Tantra is for you. Tantra is the most beautiful, powerful, easiest enlightenment science, because there's no vidhi and nisheda in Tantra. It's a pure, powerful cognition. See, in every sampradaya, we give some do's and don'ts. Whenever there is some don'ts, always you feel resisting. But in Tantra Sampradaya, there is no don'ts. Just using the powerful cognitions, your day-to-day regular activities are enough. You can achieve enlightenment. Like, you don't need to go on a particular diet. You don't need to go on a particular lifestyle. You don't need to go on particular dressing style. You don't need to make difficult decisions about your sex and bodily needs. Listen, beings have multiple reasons for their sexual activity. Sometimes to ensure that relationship still exists. Sometimes the urge generated through the hormonal pressure. Sometimes the bodily need. Sometimes the kind of a comfort it gives. Sometimes to forget all other worries and sufferings. There are multiple reasons. If you give 100 reasons for your sexual activity, hormonal urge, bodily need, emotional satisfaction, physical warmth, feeling grounded, to forget other worries and depression, you may have 100 reasons. Each of the Hindu tradition asks you to avoid sex due to some reason. For example, if you see Vedanta, Vedanta will say whatever may be the reason, avoid it. If you go to yoga tradition, they will say avoid as a bodily urge, but other reasons are okay. So each one will say yes for some reasons, say no for some reasons. But Tantra does not say no for any reason. It only helps you to have powerful cognition and have your activity strengthen your consciousness and manifest powers. Listen, see, I'll give you the ultimate secret. Everything is right if your consciousness is more powerful than your actions. Everything is wrong if your actions can dilute your consciousness. Listen, when I say everything, I mean everything. All of you understand. If the power of your consciousness is not diluted, no actions, effect, side effect touches you. Tantra is consciousness centered tradition. It is not body centered, mind centered, emotion centered. It is consciousness centered tradition. Please listen intensely. All the truths I am revealing, if your consciousness is shaken, even a simple act, extremely simple act, looking at a male or female, looking at the opposite gender, is wrong. If your consciousness is not shaken, nothing is wrong. There is no such thing as wrong. Tantra is all about strengthening your consciousness through every action. Tantra disciple asks, is sex wrong? Guru answers straight, one line. If the person with whom you are having relationship is higher conscious than you, it is an initiation, it's a blessing. The person with whom you are having relationship is lower than your consciousness, it is loss. Not wrong, but loss. Listen. Tantra looks at the sex as only profit loss activity, not right wrong activity. Understand it. If you understand, you can experience Ardhanarishvara today. This one understanding about Tantra not only can enlighten you, can make you manifest all powers. Listen, all powers are from your sexual energy.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
அருமருந்தே அண்ணாமலையோனே ஆனந்த நித்யனே அகயிருள் மாய்ப்பவனே சிறிதே சிந்தை இறங்கி கருதும் எக்கணத்திலும் எம் கண்முன்னே நீயாடி.
Ardhanarishvara is the ultimate symbol of the completion of the gender identity. It's a beautiful form Paramashiva takes to show the completion of the gender identity. If you want to worship Paramashiva, to get healed and cured by any of the gender identity and sexological problems, worship Paramashiva in that form. I am committing with you. I will make you realize your true gender identity and feel complete completion and liberation when you really identify your gender and manifest your true identity. Your physical, psychological, physiological will, the conscious identities align so beautifully with integrity, you simply start manifesting Paramashiva.
Niத்yananda Guru Nathane Niyadiva. ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುನಾಥನೇ ನೀ ಆಡಿವಾ ತಗ 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 ತಗವೆನ ಆಡಿವಾ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗಿರಿ ಶಕ್ತಿಯೇ ನೀ ಆಡಿವಾ அன்னை உருவாக எங்கள் அழகு தெய்வம் ஆடிட தந்தையென வீரம் கொண்டு சூலம் கையை தாங்கிட அன்னை உருவாக எங்கள் அழகு தெய்வம் ஆடிட தந்தையென வீரம் கொண்டு சூலம் கையை தாங்கிட கொஞ்சம் சிரிப்பாய் சொன்ன சொற்களோ முண்டையிடர் போக்கிவிட கொஞ்சம் சிரிப்பாய் சொன்ன சொற்களோ முண்டையிடர் போக்கிவிட தக 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 தகவென ஆடிவா நித்யானந்தா குருநாதனே நீ ஆடிவா தக 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 தகவென ஆடிவா நித்யானந்தா இறை சக்தியே நீ ஆடிவா தக 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 தகவென ஆடிவா நித்யானந்தா குருநாதனே நீ ஆடிவா தக 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 தகவென ஆடிவா நித்யானந்தா இறை சக்தியே நீ ஆடிவா
ಆನಂದ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರು ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುದೇವ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುದೇವ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುದೇವ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಸುರನರ ಮುನಿವರ ಗಣನಮಿತ ಶಂಕರ ಶುಭವರ ಶುಭಕರ ದಿಗಂಬರ ಭವಹರ ಜಡ ಮಕುಟಧರ ಪರಮ ಪದ ಗುರುವರ ಹರ 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 ಶಿವ ಶಂಕರ ವಿಭೂತಿ ಸುಂದರ ತ್ರಿಶೂಲಧರ ತಕ ಧಿಮಿತ ಜಣುತ ಧಿಮಿತ ನಟನ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಗುಣ ಸದನ ಶರಣ ಪವನ ಚರಣ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಸದಾ ಶಿವ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ಗಣರಾಜ ಯೋಗೀಶ ಅನನ್ಯ ಸಹನ ಗುಣ ಸರ್ವೇಶ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಭಕ್ತ ಜನ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ಗಣರಾಜ ಯೋಗೀಶ ಅನನ್ಯ ಸಹನ ಗುಣ ಸರ್ವೇಶ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಭಕ್ತ ಜನ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ ಅಖಿಲಾಂಡ ಕೋಟಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ನಾಯಕ ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ರಾಜ ಯೋಗಿ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಮಹಾಸದಾ ಶಿವ ಆನಂದ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರು ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುದೇವ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಸುರನರ ಮುನಿವರ ಗಣನಮಿತ ಶಂಕರ ಶುಭವರ ಶುಭಕರ ದಿಗಂಬರ ಭವಹರ ಜಡ ಮಕುಟಧರ ಪರಮ ಪದ ಗುರುವರ ಹರ 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 ಶಿವ ಶಂಕರ ವಿಭೂತಿ ಸುಂದರ ತ್ರಿಶೂಲಧರ ತಕ ಧಿಮಿತ ಜಣುತ ಧಿಮಿತ ನಟನ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಗುಣ ಸದನ ಶರಣ ಪವನ ಚರಣ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಓಂ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಮಹಾಸದಾ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಓಂ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಮಹಾಸದಾ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಓಂ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಮಹಾಸದಾ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಭೋಲೆನಾಥ ಶಂಭೋ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಶಂಭೋ ಭೋಲೆನಾಥ ಶಂಭೋ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಶಂಭೋ ಭೋಲೆನಾಥ ಶಂಭೋ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಶಂಭೋ पधारे हैं। घर घर हर घर गाए मारे नित्यानंद की महिमा, घर घर हर घर गाए मारे भोलेनाथ की महिमा। कुछ भी नहीं देते गए जो है सभी, देखते हैं वो भक्ति कुछ भी उसके सिवा नहीं। तेरे लिए अनंत लीला समझ न पाए हम, मिलजुल के खुल खुल के गाए मारे नित्यानंद की महिमा, घर घर हर घर गाए मारे भोलेनाथ की महिमा। इस धरती पे उतर के एक नर शरीर धर के, ये थके नहीं अभी रुके नहीं मारे स्वामी पधारे हैं। मिलजुल के खुल खुल के गाए मारे नित्यानंद की महिमा, तू भी धुन सम के गुनगुनारे मारे नित्यानंद की महिमा। घर घर हर घर गाए मारे नित्यानंद की महिमा, घर घर हर घर गाए मारे नित्यानंद की महिमा, 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 नित्यानंद की महिमा।
அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தனே, மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. காக்கா காக்கா கவின் மிக அழகா, நோக்கா நோக்கா நின்னருள் பெருக, காக்கா காக்கா கவின் மிக அழகா, நோக்கா நோக்கா நின்னருள் பெருக. ஏதும் பிற இரண்டால் கருணை நீ செய்யும் எந்தாயே, ஏதும் பிற இரண்டால் கருணை நீ செய்யும் எந்தாயே, அப்பனே செய்யும் எந்தாயே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே, மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே, என்னை அம்மையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, 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 நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே.
जयति तेऽधिकं नित्या जन्मना व्रज
श्रयत इन्दिरा नित्या शश्वतद्रही दयितदृश्यतां नित्या दिक्षु तावका स्वयि धृता सव नित्यास्त्वां विचिन्वते भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा शरदुदाश्रये नित्या साधु जातसे सरसिजीधर नित्या श्रीमुषादृश सुरतनाथ ते नित्या शुल्कदासिका वरदनिघ्नतो नित्या नेह किं वद भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा विषजलाप्ययात् नित्यव्यालराक्षसात् वर्षमारुता नित्याद्वैत्युताननात् वृषभयात्मजात् नित्या विश्वतोभयात् वृषभते वयं नित्या रक्षितामुः भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा गोपिका नित्यानन्दनो भवान् अखिलदेहिनां नित्या अन्तरात्मदृक् विखनसार्थितो नित्या विश्वगुप्तये सखोदेवान् नित्या सात्वतां कुले भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा विरचिता भयं नित्या वृष्णिधुर्यते चरणनीयोषां नित्या संसृतेर्भयात् करसरोरुहं नित्या कान्तकामदं शिरसि देहिन नित्या श्रीकरग्रहम् भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा भावं मतिमधुरं ननु नित्यानन्दा धन्यं मम जीवनं नित्यानन्दा शम्भो नित्यानन्द शम्भो नित्यानन्द शम्भो नित्यानन्द शम्भो नित्यानन्द शङ्करगिरि रमण शम्भो नित्यानन्द शङ्करगिरिजारमण शम्भो नित्यानन्द शङ्करगिरिजारमण शम्भो नित्यानन्द शङ्करगिरिजारमण शम्भो नित्यानन्द शम्भो नित्यानन्द चरणागत जनरजग 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 अम्बोरुगलो वोचन अम्बोरुगलो वोचन अम्बोरुगलो वोचन पादाम्बुज भक्तिं देहि 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 शम्भो नित्यानन्द शङ्करगिरिजारमण शम्भो नित्यानन्द परमदयागर मृगधर दरगङ्गाधर धरणि परमदयागर
Om, Om, Om. As the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva's Ardhanarishvara Murti, I bless you all with Paramashivatva, and today I'll initiate the 56 Akshara Matruka, the 56 sacred sounds from Kailasa. I'll initiate all of you in this 56 sacred sound vibration. I'll insert that 56 sacred sounds in your Mooladhara and awaken the right powerful gender in you, and I will also energize all the Aushadha products you kept in front of you now as an offering to me. I'll energize all of that, and While energy is the mirror, Aushadha, sandalwood paste, turmeric, kumkum powders you have kept now, and I'll insert the 56 Akshara Matruka, 56 energies. "56 syllables from Maha Kailasa, 56 sounds from Maha Kailasa. Om, Im, Eem, Om, Rum, Rum, Lam, Lrum, Em, Aim, Om, Am, Aha, Kham, Gam, Gham, Gham, Nam, Cham, Cham, Jam, Jam, Nam, Tam, Tam, Dam, Dam, Nam, Tam, Tham, Dham, Dham, Nam, Pam, Pam, Bham, Bham, Mam, Yam, Ram, Lam, Vam, Sham, Sham, Sam, Hum, Lam, Sham, Om.
सनादना देव नित्यनंदना परम निरंजना दीन जनावना सत्य सनादना देव नित्यनंदना।
నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద నీ రూపమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద నీ రూపం ఎంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద ఎంత మంచి వాడివయ్యా నిత్యానంద ఎంత మంచి వాడివయ్య నిత్యానంద మా బంగారు స్వామివయ్య నిత్యానంద మా బంగారు స్వామివయ్య నిత్యానంద నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద. ఒక్కసారి నిన్ను చూసిన బతుకు ధన్యమయ్య, ఒక్కసారి నిన్ను చూసిన బతుకు ధన్యమయ్య. ఒకే ఒక్క నీ నామము మధురమైనదయ్యా, ఒకే ఒక్క నీ నామము మధురమైనదయ్యా. ఒక్కసారి వింటే చాలు నీ మాటలు, ఒక్కసారి బతుకు మారునయ్యా. ఒక్కసారి వింటే చాలు నీ మాటలు, ఒక్కసారి బతుకు మారునయ్యా. నీతోటి బతుకు ఎంత మధురమయ్యా, నీతోటి బతుకు ఎంత మధురమయ్యా. నీ తోడు ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా, నీ తోడు ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా. నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద. వెలలేని వరాలెన్నో ఇచ్చావయ్యా, వెలలేని వరాలెన్నో ఇచ్చావయ్యా. మాకు ఇంకేమి కావాలయ్యా, మాకు ఇంకేమి కావాలయ్యా. నీవు ఎదుట లేదని బాధ మాకు లేదయ్యా, నీవు ఎదుట లేదని బాధ మాకు లేదయ్యా. నీవు మాకు ఇచ్చిన మోద చాలునయ్యా, నీవు మాకు ఇచ్చిన మోద చాలునయ్యా. మా మనసున అమృతము నింపావయ్యా, మా మనసున అమృతము నింపావయ్యా. నీ బోధ ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా, నీ బోధ ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా. నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద. ఎన్ని వేల జన్మలెత్తిన ఏమిటయ్యా, ఎన్ని వేల జన్మలెత్తిన ఏమిటయ్యా. నీ నామము తెలిసిన చాలునయ్యా, నీ నామము తెలిసిన చాలునయ్యా. ఎలుగెత్తి నీ గురించి పాడుతామయ్యా, ఎలుగెత్తి నీ గురించి పాడుతామయ్యా. తనివి తరని ఆనందం పొందుతామయ్యా, తనివి తరని ఆనందం పొందుతామయ్యా. కళ్ళి జన్మ ఎత్తిన మాకేమిటయ్యా, కళ్ళి జన్మ ఎత్తిన మాకేమిటయ్యా. నీ నామం ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా, నీ నామం ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా. నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద. స్వర్గమైన నరకమైన మాకేమిటయ్యా, స్వర్గమైన నరకమైన మాకేమిటయ్యా. నీతోటి స్వర్గ నరకం ఒక్కటేనయ్యా, నీతోటి స్వర్గ నరకం ఒక్కటేనయ్యా. నీ రూపం మది నిండి మేమందరము, నీ రూపం మది నిండి మేమందరము. ఆనంద తాండవము చేసేమయ్యా, ఆనంద తాండవము చేసేమయ్యా. నీవు నిందిన మా బతుకు ధన్యమయ్యా, నీవు నిందిన మా బతుకు ధన్యమయ్యా. నీ రూపమొక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా, నీ రూపమొక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా. నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద, నీ రూపమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద, నీ రూపమెంత మధురమయ్యా నిత్యానంద. భాగ్యమైనదయ్య మా జీవితము, ఎంత భాగ్యమైనదయ్య మా జీవితము. నీ నీడన మేమందరం చేరితిమయ్యా, నీ నీడన మేమందరం చేరితిమయ్యా. నీ దర్శన భాగ్యం ఎంత మధురమయ్యా, నీ దర్శన భాగ్యం ఎంత మధురమయ్యా. నిజమైన ప్రేమని చవి చూసితిమయ్యా, నిజమైన ప్రేమని చవి చూసితిమయ్యా. దివ్యమైన నీ మాడుదమీ మందరము, దివ్యమైన నీ మాడుదమీ మందరము. నిన్నే అందరిలో చూసేమయ్యా, నీ మాట ఒక్కటే మాకు చాలునయ్యా. నిత్యానంద ఓ నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్య నిత్యానంద, నీ నామమెంత మధురమయ్య నిత్యానంద. సాటిలేని నీ ఓర్పు సరిలేనిదయ్యా, సాటిలేని నీ ఓర్పు సరిలేనిదయ్యా. రాయిలంటి మనిషిలో రక్తి నింపవయ్యా, రాయిలంటి మనిషిలో రక్తి నింపవయ్యా. ఎలాగైనా నిన్ను చూసి కమలా పూజిత కైలాస ప్రియ కరుణా సాగర శాంత నిత్యా. ఖడ్గ సులమృత టంక ధనుర్ధర విక్రమ రూప విశ్వేశ నిత్యా. గంగా గిరిజా వల్లభ గుణహిత శంకర సర్వజనేశ నిత్యా. ఘాతక భంజన పాతక నాశన నిత్యానంద పురీశ నిత్యా. నానాకృత శృతి మౌలి విభూషణ వేద స్వరూప విశ్వేశ నిత్యా. జయ నిత్యా జయ నిత్యా హర నిత్యా హర నిత్యా. జయ నిత్యా జయ నిత్యా హర నిత్యా హర నిత్యా. చండ వినాశన సకల జన ప్రియ మండలాధీశ మహేశ నిత్యా. ఛత్ర కిరీట సుకుండల శోభిత పుత్ర ప్రియ భువనేశ నిత్యా. జన్మ జరా सुरेश नित्या. गंग स्वरूप सहस्र करोत्तम वागीश्वर वरदेव नित्या. दंभ विनाशन डिंडिम भूषण अंबरवास चिदेग नित्या. टम टम डमरुग धरणी निश्चल तुंडि विनायक सेव्य नित्या. नलिन विलोचन नटन मनोहर
Sona Kamat, my blessings. I accept your gratitude. I'll shower you all wealth, health, happiness, healthy relationship, power manifestation, enlightenment and success for your whole family. I am with you. Sona Kamat, blessings. Tatastu. Adeline Un Yar Ching. Adeline Un Yar Ching, blessings for you and your children Junji Yung Teng Jia Zuan, and blessings for all of you. Shukra, Ganapati, Saraswati, Lakshmi, all will shower their energies on you. Blessings to Junji and Jung Teng Jiagzuan, Un Chua. Blessings to all of you. I'll shower you with wealth, remove all karmas, give you all auspiciousness. Adeline Un Yar Ching, blessings. Priya Pujita, Avani Singh, Priya Pujita, I told you, when you said you can't attend today's darshan because you will be in flight, I assured that I am with you. You will be having my darshan. Now the blessing has become reality. You are having darshan even while you are in flight. Avani Singh, Priya Pujita, blessings. I am with you. Enjoy the darshan. If you look through the window, you will see me from Maha Kailasa. You will see me in the space of Chidakasa. Sri Jnaneshwarananda, I'll heal you completely. I'll heal you completely. Don't worry. I will heal you fully. Don't worry about it. I'll completely heal you. I am with you. I'll clear all your root patterns. Sri Jnaneshwarananda. Om. Queen Lee, my blessings for you and your mother's completion. Your business will boom more and you will have a huge wealth and family well-being. Queen Lee, my blessings. I am with you. Lohini Rajagopal, Tatastu. I am with you. I accept your gratitude. Lohini Rajagopal, listen carefully. I can see more than what you wrote. First thing you need to know, nobody can play proxy for me. I am Paramashiva. I do not allow anyone to play proxy for me. So, keep me in your inner space as your own. Whatever whatever you talk for your side, you talk for my side, I will only talk. I will not let your unconsciousness or your mind to talk. Anything you hear from inside you, it is my voice, my advice, my guidance. And I give you the commitment, you will get better job, contract, career, you will be showered with wealth. Be very clear. I am here as your Subramanya Murugan. I am with you. Ma Nitya Karunananda Tatastu. Accept your gratitude. Tatastu. Ma Nitya Nistraigunyananda. I accept your gratitude. You will see rain happening within next 21 minutes in the south, exactly the place you want. Check, the rain will shower within next 21 minutes in the south, the exact place you wanted. Vijayalakshmi Tirumala Tatastu. It will be sold in next 11 days. Vijayalakshmi Tirumala Tatastu. Tan Swi Leng, I give you power. You will manifest it. You will not be bullied by your neighbor.
Anandam Rakendu Bhushanam Nithyanandam Natham Daivanandam Guru Bhavanandam Smarami Rakendu Bhushanam Nithyanandam Natham Daivanandam Guru Bhavanandam Smarami Rakendu Bhushanam. Om. Mariam Dawood, my blessings. Mariam Dawood, I'll shower you with wealth. You will be able to complete it. Vinaya Kurpad, I approve your Adhinavasi application. Go to Kenya and be under Jnana Priya and get trained. Vinaya Kurpad, I approve your Adhinavasi application.
you can reach out to Sundareshwara and go and be under Ma Jnana Priya and get trained. Aranya Nitya Sureshwaran Tatastu. Sri Nitya Mahadeva Swarupananda accepted your offerings and gratitude. Tatastu. Om.
नंदी वाहन ಬಿಡದಿ ನಿವಾಸ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಬಿಡದಿ ನಿವಾಸ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುಕುಲ ಗುರುವೇ ನೀ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಗುರುಕುಲ ಗುರುವೇ ನೀ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಅನುಪಮ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಅನುಪಮ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಶ್ರೀ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಶ್ರೀ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಆನಂದ ಆನಂದ 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 ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ
ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದನ ಜಯ ಜಗದೀಶ ಕಮಲ ನಯನ ಹೇ ಹೃದಯ ವಿಹಾರಿ ಯೋಗ ಅವತಾರ ಮಾತಾ ನಿತ್ಯೇಶ್ವರಿ ಪ್ರೇಮಮಾಯಿ ತ್ರಿಭುವನ ಮೋಗಿನಿ ಪಾಪ ವಿನಾಶಿನಿ ವೇದ ಕಲಾವಧಿ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣದಾಯಿನಿ ನಿತ್ಯ ನಾರಾಯಣಿ ಶಿವಶಕ್ತೀಶ್ವರಿ ಮಹಾದೇವಾ ಶಿವ ಸಂಪೋ ಶಂಕರ ಶಂಕರ ಶರಣಂ ಪಂಕಜ ಶರಣಂ ಸದ್ಗುರುದೇವಾ ನಿತ್ಯ ಗುರುದೇವಾ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದಮಯಿ ನಿತ್ಯೇಶ್ವರಿಣಿ ಈಶ್ವರ ನಿತ್ಯ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದನ ಜಯ ಜಗದೀಶ ಕಮಲ ನಯನ ಹೇ ಹೃದಯ ವಿಹಾರಿ ಯೋಗ ಅವತಾರ
Om, Om. Now, I give you all few minutes. The minutes for asking your boon, your prayers, the varas you want, the questions, doubts, messages, anything you wanted to share with Paramashiva, share now. Type it now. Paramashiva will manifest it for you now. Answers for your questions, clarifications for your doubts, blessings for the boon requests, infusing energy into your prayers. Universal Tathastu to all the boon requests. Paramashiva is here. Om. Om. Om.
ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಲದೆ ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಲದೆ ನಾಮ ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಲದೆ ನಾಮ ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಲದೆ ಗೋವಿಂದನ ನಾಮ ಸ್ಮರಣೆ जय नित्य शंकर जय गंगाधर करुणाकर करतार हरे जय नित्य शंकर जय गंगाधर करुणाकर करतार हरे जय कैलाशी जय अविनाशी सुख राशि सुख सार भरे जय कैलाशी जय अविनाशी सुख राशि सुख सार भरे जय शशि शेखर जय डमरूधर जय जय प्रेमागार हरे जय शशि शेखर जय डमरूधर जय जय प्रेमागार हरे जय त्रिपुरारी जय मतहारी अमित अनंत अपार हरे जय त्रिपुरारी जय मतहारी अमित अनंत अपार हरे निर्गुण जय जय सगुण नामय निराकार साकार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्या पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्या पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे नित्य रामेश्वर नित्य नागेश्वर वैद्यनाथ केदार हरे नित्य रामेश्वर नित्य नागेश्वर वैद्यनाथ केदार हरे मल्लिकार्जुन सोमनाथ नित्य महाकाल ओंकार हरे मल्लिकार्जुन सोमनाथ नित्य महाकाल ओंकार हरे त्रयंबकेश्वर नित्य घुष्मेश्वर भीमेश्वर जगतार हरे त्रयंबकेश्वर नित्य घुष्मेश्वर भीमेश्वर जगतार हरे काशीपति श्री विश्वनाथ जय मंगलमय अघहार हरे काशीपति श्री विश्वनाथ जय मंगलमय अघहार हरे नीलकंठ जय भूतनाथ नित्य मृत्युंजय विकार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे नित्य महेश जय नित्य भवेश जय आदिदेव नित्यानंद विभो नित्य महेश जय नित्य भवेश जय आदिदेव नित्यानंद विभो किस मुख से है गुणतीत प्रभु तव अपार गुण वर्णन हो किस मुख से है गुणतीत प्रभु तव अपार गुण वर्णन हो नित्य भव कारक तारक हारक पातक दारक नित्य शंभो नित्य भव कारक तारक हारक पातक दारक नित्य शंभो दीन दुख हर सर्व सुखावर प्रेम सुधाधर दया करो दीन दुख हर सर्व सुखावर प्रेम सुधाधर दया करो पार लगा दो भव सागर से बन कर करुणागार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे जय मन भावन जय अति पावन शोक नशावन नित्य शंभो जय मन भावन जय अति पावन शोक नशावन नित्य शंभो विपद विदारण अदमो बारण सत्य सनातन नित्य शंभो पद विदारण अधम उबारण सत्य सनातन नित्य शंभो सहज वचन कर जलज नयन वर धवल वरण तन नित्य शंभो सहज वचन हर जलज नयन वर धवल वरण तन नित्य शंभो मदन कदन पर पाप हरण हर चरण मनन धन नित्य शंभो मदन कदन पर पाप हरण हर चरण मनन धन नित्य शंभो विवसन विश्वरूप प्रलयंकर जग के मूलाधार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्या पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्या पाहि पाहि दातार हरे जय जय नित्य देव 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 हरे भोलानाथ कृपालु दयामय ओटर दानी नित्य योगी भोलानाथ कृपालु दयामय ओटर दानी नित्य योगी सरल हृदय अति करुणा सागर अगत कहानी नित्य योगी सरल हृदय अति करुणा सागर अगत कहानी नित्य योगी निमिष मात्र में देते हैं नवनिधि मन मानी नित्य योगी निमिष मात्र में देते हैं नवनिधि मन मानी नित्य योगी भक्तों पर सर्वस्व लुटाकर बने मसानी नित्य योगी भक्तों पर सर्वस्व लुटाकर बने मसानी नित्य योगी स्वयं अकिंचन जन मन रंजन पर नित्य पर उदार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे हर हर नित्य देव 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 हरे से मुझे जगा देना आशुतोष इस मोहमयी निद्रा से मुझे जगा देना विषम वेदना से विषयों की मायाधीश चुड़ा देना विषम वेदना से विषयों की मायाधीश चुड़ा देना रूप सुधा की एक बूंद से जीवन मुक्त बना देना रूप सुधा की एक बूंद से जीवन मुक्त बना देना दिव्य ज्ञान भंडार युगल चरणों को लगन लगा देना दिव्य ज्ञान भंडार युगल चरणों को लगन लगा देना एक बार इस मन मंदिर में कीजिए पद संचार करे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे जय जय नित्य देव 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 हरे दानी हो दो भिक्षा में अपनी अनपायनी भक्ति प्रभु दानी हो दो भिक्षा में अपनी अनपायनी भक्ति प्रभु शक्तिमान हो दो अविचल निष्काम प्रेम की शक्ति प्रभु शक्तिमान हो दो अविचल निष्काम प्रेम की शक्ति प्रभु त्यागी हो दो इस असार संसार से पूर्ण विरक्ति प्रभु त्यागी हो दो इस असार संसार से पूर्ण विरक्ति प्रभु परम पिता हो दो तुम अपने चरणों में अनुरक्त प्रभु परम पिता हो दो तुम अपने चरणों में अनुरक्त प्रभु स्वामी हो निज सेवक की सुन लेना करुण पुकार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे जय जय नित्य देव 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 हरे
जाओ भगवंत हरे। चरण शरण की बांग गहो हे उमा रमण प्रिय कंत हरे। चरण शरण की बांग गहो हे उमा रमण प्रिय कंत हरे। विरह व्यापित हूँ दीन दुखी हूँ दीन दयालु अनंत हरे। विरह व्यापित हूँ दीन दुखी हूँ दीन दयालु अनंत हरे। आओ तुम मेरे हो जाओ आ जाओ श्रीमंत हरे। आओ तुम मेरे हो जाओ आ जाओ श्रीमंत हरे। मेरी इस दयनीय दशा पर कुछ तो करो विचार हरे। नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे। नित्यानंद पुरी ईश्वर नित्य पाहि पाहि दातार हरे। जय जय नित्य देव हरे। जय जय नित्य देव हरे। हर हर नित्य देव हरे। हर हर नित्य देव हरे। जय जय नित्य देव हरे। जय जय नित्य देव हरे। हर हर नित्य देव हरे। हर हर नित्य देव हरे।
கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள இப்ப விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. சேர்த்து வைக்கணும். நித்தியம் உன்ன ஞான கருத்தை சொத்து போல நல்லா சேர்த்து வைக்கணும். தேவை வரும் போது உதவும் செல்லம்மா. மனச தெளிய வைக்கும் ஆனந்த சுத்திரம் என்னம்மா. சரியா விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. சொன்னாரம்மா செல்லம்மா. இனிமே ஒவ்வொரு செயலும் தியானமா மாறணும் என்னம்மா. உடனே விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. சென்று சேர்ந்திட நாம் அடி செல்லம்மா. பக்தியோடு விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில. விளக்கம் கேட்ட சின்ன புள்ள விளங்கிடுச்சா சொல்லு புள்ள. நித்யானந்தர் சொன்ன சொல்ல நாம எல்லோரும் வாழணும் வாழ்க்கையில.
काल
ri 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 ga 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 ma ga ma ga ma pa ga ma pa ma ga ma ga re sa ni sa 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 ri 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 ga 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 sa ni sa ni sa ni sari ni sa da ni sari ga ri ma ga pa ma da pa ni da ni pa da ma pa da ni ni da da pa pa ma ma mata jana gopitvam yannammayappane ratrim divasatvam kalamairavaya namah jagadadistvam antastvam he jagatkaranam mama sangharshatvam purnatvam he phalampradaam mama bhumidakashatvam nityananda mama sarvasvam nityananda mama sarvasvam. सनातन धर्म के उधार सकल जग दुख दैत्य संहार तुरे दोटों के वो अपने मरण स्मरण कर लेना उनकी आचरण सहन करेंगे तू अपनी जन्म कारण पूरी कर ले तेरे शरण शरण में आए हम साथ तेरे हैं हम मम माता जनकोपित्वम् मम माता जनकोपित्वम् मम माता जनकोपित्वम् नित्यानन्दा मम सर्वस्वम् नित्यानन्दा मम सर्वस्वम् नित्यानन्दा मम सर्वस्वम् मम सर्वस्वम् मम सर्वस्वम्.
பூடாய் புழுவாய் மரமாகி பல்விருகமாகி பறவையாய் பாம்பாகி கல்லா மனிதராய் பேயாய் கணங்களாய் வல்லசுரராகி முனிவராய் தேவராய் செல்லாரின் தாவர சங்கமத்துள் எல்லா பிறப்பும் பிறந்திழைத்தேன் எம்பெருமான் மெய்யே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டு இன்று வீடுற்றே கண்டு இன்று வீடு கையாளும் ஈசா அற்புரிய திவ்ய சரீரத்தில் வாடின் வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு உண்மையாட்கொண்டவா கையாளும் ஈசா அற்புரிய திவ்ய சரீரத்தில் வாடின் வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு உண்மையாட்கொண்டவா தெளிவித்தவா வாழ்வுதனை மயமாக்கவா ஔஷதம் தந்தவா உடலிலை விடும் பொறுமை தந்தருளவா தெளிவித்தவா வாழ்வுதனை மயமாக்கவா ஔஷதம் தந்தவா உடலிலை விடும் பொறுமை தந்தருளவா பூமியில் குறைந்திடும் ஏறும் ஈசா அற்புரிய திவ்ய சரீரத்தில் வாடின் வேண்டும் அதனால் திசை கொடு மையாட்கொண்டவா மாற்றமாம் வையகத்தின் தேரே வந்தறிவாம் தேற்றனே தேற்றத் தெளிவே என் சிந்தனையுள் ஊற்றான உன்னாரமுதே உதயானே மனதில் இருளது நீங்க தீபமாய் எழுந்த ஜோதி ஸ்வரூபானவம் அழித்து முக்தி தந்திட மலையாகி நின்ற அருணாச்சலம் மானிட ரூபம் தரித்தவா படைத்து காத்து மறை கழித்து அருளி கொண்டவா காட்டில் ஆடிட கண்டை காலரை காலார் கடந்தாரை கண்டை துள்ளி உடைமானின் தோளாரை கண்டை புலியுரி ஆடை இதனை கண்டை வெள்ளி திரை சடையில் சூடிட கண்டை துள்ளி மலை மீது நின்றாரை கண்டை நந்தி பெருமானின் நாயகன் கண்டை நான் மலை வேதநாதன் கண்டை கண் தந்து கண்டவா காண கண் தந்தவா காண்கின்ற காட்சியெல்லாம் கைலாயம் தந்தவா ஓம் சிவ 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 ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் ஹர ஹர என தம்மடை ஓம் சிவ சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் தகதிமி என தாளம் முழங்கும்
in today's session. I request each one of you to share showering us all with so many boons and blessings. Wow. Actually, we have a very, very, very special news for all the participants. Tomorrow onwards, the darshan would be from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Swamiji is going to be showering all with by answering our, showering us with all the boons that we ask for, answering our questions, and giving us all his powerful blessings and unconditional love. And this is going to be open for everyone, including the people from social media platforms. This is going to be live on all the social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. And Swamiji will be answering the questions from all the platforms, including WhatsApp. So you can tell this great news to all your friends, relatives, family members, everyone. Share this great news to all your loved ones. So in Indian Standard Time, this will be at 5:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. The darshan is going to start. So we will be having the darshan from 8 p.m. New York time to 10 p.m. New York time. Do not miss it. And it will be available for all of you to join. And all the participants, every one of you that are there, share with all your friends, family members. They all can join and they can post their blessings, everything, whatever they want to request on the chat as comments in social media, and Swamiji himself will be blessing. Swamiji has blessed us all with, oh my God, I don't know where to start from. I mean, the darshan, the way Swamiji was just showering us so beautifully, coming as Ardhanarishvara and giving us all the 56 Akshara Matrikas Diksha, the initiation, and energizing the Aushadas today. All the participants, whoever kept your Aushadas and mirrors to get energized, Swamiji has blessed all of our alchemy products, and you can start using it for power manifestation. Now let's all enter into the power manifestation. All the participants, just sit now. And just manifest intensely in this space of connection that Swamiji has showered us all with. Just decide and manifest this whole space. Now, Swamiji has blessed all of us, energized the Krishna Shila, and blessed us all to manifest these powers. Let us all sit now and manifest. Pick up your Krishna Shilas. Today, all of us, whoever had the Krishna Shilas, have been using the Krishna Shila. Those of you that just got the Krishna Shilas energized, please pick up the Krishna Shilas. Please understand these alchemy products, whether it is a mirror or whether it is in Krishna Shila, the granite slab, these are spiritual alchemy products which do not need any maintenance. It will answer and respond to you just like a deity, just like Swamiji's Atma Murti. These spiritual alchemy products directly work on your neurological system. It percolates your whole system and becomes reality completely. So these are literally like having Swamiji with you. And especially mirror, Swamiji says, is an initial level training to be able to see. And in mirror, you will be able to see any answers, the past, present, and future. Any records, you'll be able to see it. And it will be in the granite slab where you'll be able to see it permanently. But if you do not have a granite slab, you can use the mirror. To start off with, you can have the mirror. And also, we have another important announcement to all the participants. From tomorrow onwards, there'll be a change in the timing of the program. Since every one of you, all of us will be receiving the darshan, just to make sure none of us are missing out. 8 p.m. New York time to 10 p.m. New York time will be the darshan where Swamiji will answer all the questions, everything to all of us. And the program timing will be from 7 a.m. New York time till 11 p.m. New York time. So we are starting it 1 hour later than usual. Right now it starts at 6 a.m. New York time. From tomorrow onwards, the program starts from 7 a.m. New York time and it will end at 11 p.m. New York time. So we request all the participants to acknowledge if you all got it. So this is a change in the timings. From tomorrow onwards, you all can join at 7 a.m. New York time, starting with yoga. And it will be there up until 11 p.m. New York time. Yes. Wow, it's very nice to see so many of you are putting wow, so blessed. Yes, absolutely. It is in EST, New York time. EST time. The timings I announced is in EST. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, till 11 p.m. New York time. Seven a.m. New York time. Some of you are asking in Indian Standard Time. Yes, we'll be posting the time. The support desk will be posting the timings in Indian Standard Time for you all in the chat. In Eastern Standard Time, be 7 a.m. New York time till 11 p.m. So it will be around 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The program would be starting. So we are going to be having the program. So I just wanted to announce again, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yoga is going to be starting. The program will be starting. And 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the program would be ending. Let us all continue manifesting. Understand, right after this initiation, just sit now. Today's darshan has been too powerful. Like we had like such a long darshan with Swamiji. It was so nice, right? And Swamiji has initiated all of us into this very powerful special process. Now, please keep the mirror in front of you. Just sit. Connect to Swamiji intensely. All of you that just got your mirror energized, we will be doing the first step, like we had explained in the morning. The first thing is to have the darshan of Swamiji in the mirror. Means you will be having the darshan. Just invoke Swamiji's presence. You will clearly see Swamiji's form in the mirror. Swamiji will appear in the mirror. And you will be seeing Swamiji's form in the mirror, bowing down to that form and then starting the manifestation. The process is very simple. And just be informed that the Kristashila or the mirror is independent of you or your individual abilities to manifest. It is Swamiji's direct blessing to us. So don't worry about, am I going to be able to manifest? Is it going to be difficult for you? No, it's even more simpler because it's independent of you. And it will simply, whatever you put, it's like a Google. When you Google, you can see, right? When you come on YouTube, you can just see Swamiji like that. When you connect to Kristashila and chant the Mahavakya, you can have the darshan of Swamiji's form on the Kristashila itself. So please connect to Swamiji, chant the Mahavakya, and all of you have the darshan of Swamiji in the Kristashila or the mirror. Let us all start. All the participants in the Rajya Sabha, those of you that would like to have the entanglement, you all can go. We have the Balasant in the breakout room, the power manifestation booth. You all can join the power manifestation booth and the Balasant will be there to entangle you all. Now, I request every one of you intensely connect to Swamiji chant the Mahavakya. Just look at the mirror and you will be able to see the form of Swamiji's very clearly appearing in the mirror. Connect to that intensely. Please apply the Aushadha on the mirror. You're all going to be, yes, make sure that the layer of Aushadha is thick. It should literally be covering the mirror, like a coat of Aushadha on that. And it is on the Aushadha you're going to be having the darshan of Swamiji's. So you'll be having the Aushadha on the mirror, and on the Aushadha on the mirror, you'll be having the darshan of Swamiji. Please chant the Mahavakya. Connect to Swamiji.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Mahavagya, spiritual lullaby for samadhi, and Suprabhatam, wake up call, wake up song for Paramashiva. This Mahavagya is spiritual lullaby for you to fall into samadhi. Suprabhatam, wake up song for Paramashiva to wake up in you. Just remember this one powerful cognition. This Mahavagya puts me in samadhi. This is spiritual lullaby for samadhi, and Suprabhatam, wake up song for Paramashiva in me, for Paramashiva to manifest. With this one spiritual powerful cognition, chant this Mahavagya. Mahavagya, spiritual lullaby for samadhi, and Suprabhatam, wake up call, wake up song for Paramashiva, for Paramashiva to manifest. With this one spiritual powerful cognition, chant this Mahavagya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Now,
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
now those of you that have had the darshan of Swamiji's form in the mirror, once you have had the darshan of Swamiji's form in the mirror, I request all of you to connect to Swamiji, and now you can see any place in the mirror. You can connect to one of the partners. At least make sure even one round you're manifesting this. Do not miss. See, please understand, it is very important that we manifest this experience completely. Swamiji has given a very powerful initiation, so don't miss it. Connect any of your partners and now scan any place. Like for example, they can tell you scan my house, scan my office room, scan my scan the temple, or they can tell you to scan any particular place. Scan and describe that place. Describe the exact details, what all you're seeing in that place. Please chant the Mahavakya.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Nityananda Paramashivam.
Please relax. All of you can now slowly relax, settle down. Now, all of you can please relax. This brings us all to the conclusion of our day today. And we have had such a wonderful day learning a lot of powerful cognitions that Swamiji has revealed. And I enjoyed every bit of it. Hope all of you enjoyed. And each of you can post which cognition you clicked with the most. Which did you enjoy the most today? Tomorrow, we're going to be having a very, very powerful initiation. Tomorrow is Kamadahana Murti, Kankhala Murti, going beyond all the desires, everything. And tomorrow we are going to be learning about collapsing time through consciousness. And we're going to be understanding about the principles of time, going beyond the time, collapsing time through our consciousness, and how we can experience that ultimate nonviolence. And most importantly, tomorrow we are going to be having a very powerful past life regression process. So we welcome everyone of you. Powerful process where literally you're going to do a unique process where you will be able to see your past lives, not just your past from this birth, but what you were in your previous births, coming out of all the patterns that are there from your past birth. It's not just for you to be able to see your past lives, but the kind of patterns, the karmas that you've been suffering with because of your past life patterns, you are going to get liberation from that. It's very, very, very powerful. And we request all of you to make sure that you are tuned in throughout the day as much as possible, as that to directly help you in your breakthrough, in you having the best experience tomorrow. So thank you so much. Hope all of you enjoyed today's program. Did you all enjoy today's program? Now, with this, we come to the conclusion of our day today. And let us all conclude our day with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you all, Nityanandam.